the 20 under 40 award, for whatever reason in my life, it stood out as just that top of the bucket list item. The people that get that are the people that are really making a difference, and I would love to be included in that group. So now to be here, sitting in the chair, it is surreal.
Very humbling, very grateful to be recognized among so many others who I know are doing great work in the community as well. Just a huge recognition.
It's pretty awesome. I'm really excited. I've known so many previous winners that I've really looked up to, and to kind of be one of them now it means a lot to me.
I feel most inspired by the clients that I work with. It's really interesting to hear their stories and see who they are beyond the things that they've done.
When I think back to who inspired me to get involved and really think about advancing equity in communities, I think of my mom. I grew up in Corvallis, and the community was not particularly diverse, and my mom would pick people out of a crowd and walk up to them and say, "Hey, I think you might be new in town. Do you need anything? We have things we can spare."
The leadership role that has meant the most to me has been through educating local children about sustainability and waste prevention. It's been so rewarding to make those connections for young students.
I am incredibly grateful for my leadership role with Homes for Good. Partner with them to accomplish these really remarkable goals. Make sure that housing is accessible to everyone in Lane County. I love it. It's really cool.
I love my job as the development director. I really enjoy how I get to have the creativity to put on fundraising events that I care about and that are within my strengths, such as we have a zombie run, and I am all about that Halloween, so.
Coaching is definitely top on where I'm at right now. It's super awesome to, show someone something new, and then they can implement it in what they're doing.
I was blindsided during the pandemic of receiving a cancer diagnosis of chronic myeloid leukemia. My dad passed from pancreatic cancer, so all I knew about cancer was very aggressive, very fast. I woke up with fear, and I still do every single day. So taking my leadership skills and thinking about how do I face that fear, I still feel aspects of why me and why. There's no answer. It's more a matter of, okay, I didn't have a choice, so the choice that I do have is how I'm gonna show up and react every single day. That's why I volunteer so much with Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. That's why I'm on a board for a foundation called Press on 6 that's building community for blood cancer patients and their families, because for me, oftentimes, I don't want other folks to feel how I felt. My dad, he just was such a wonderful person. And I'm crying because his birthday was just on May 6th. He just balanced all of us, our family. That is the legacy that I want to keep carrying on, and why this 20 under 40 means so much to me, because it feels like a celebration of that legacy, like I'm doing something right.
Why not? That's really why not take action to help others. If you can help, you should.
Action's crucial. It's when you feel most alive. When I act, when I give, when I volunteer, it's a pleasure.
I think it's really important to take action to help others and feel empowered to do that.
The mental health field in particular, I think it's important to take action so our action can lead to their action and eventually, hopefully, give themselves a better future.
Every religion, every creed, every code requires you to step in and, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Serve is a verb. It is an action.
The only way to really make change in our community is if you're willing to put in the work and the effort.
If you aren't taking action within your own community, whether that's a leadership role where you work or community service, then nothing will ever get done.
If not us in the community, then who?
Like a streak of red and orange, it took just one night for the state to be swept away by flames.
She knew right away that it was something they were not going to be able to contain, and they did not have reinforcements coming anytime soon. And so she just said, let's go, let's get them out.
We all felt the smoke. We all saw the skies turn an extremely dark color as the sun came through, and then we started seeing the mass evacuations occur. And I kept asking myself, like, what do I do? Like, how do I best help my community right now? It was a really inspiring moment to see so many people come together, be able to support the community. You know, people who may not have seen eye to eye, you know, they see eye to eye because they see each other as human and as neighbors.
When the holiday farm fire came through, I was the only sales manager still employed at the time because we had a furlough due to the pandemic. So I was fielding calls from the early morning until late in the afternoon. And at a certain point, it got to be less about finding hotel rooms for people, but getting them to wherever they needed. Really just being on that front line and helping people with whatever it was that they needed, even if it had nothing to do with hotels. My in-laws were affected by the holiday farm fire and lost their home that day, so it was particularly meant a lot to me to be able to help in any way that I could, even if it was just pointing people in the right direction.
Get off your cell phone. It's serious. Get off your cell phone. Reality has so much more to offer you in terms of meaningfulness than your cell phone does.
Life is about social connections, it's about people, right? And business is no different. It's really easy to get lost in the corporate culture and the per my last email and for your reference sort of mentality. But let's throw in some smiley faces and emojis. Let's play Nerf battle at our jobs. Let's have a little bit more fun, because why would anyone spend their whole life doing something that doesn't express who they are?
Gratitude goes a long way. As a young child, my dad very much was like, there's nothing better than a handwritten thank you note, and I just try to live by that and remember that. Even if it's something small, maybe someone just helped me with something, I love to send a personal thank you note.
I would say there's no substitute for just being a kind person who's willing to give your time to others.
Be kind, non-judgmental. Try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, and if you can't be empathic, then be sympathetic towards them.
I've heard the saying before, work hard and be nice to people. So I think that's something that applies to every aspect of life. Like, you can work hard and kind of be a jerk and like work your way to the top. Like that can be a mindset for some people. But I really try to say, work hard, be nice to people, just be a good person, but you can still excel at what you do and be a really good person.
Kindness always. I lead with kindness. I can't tell you how many times that you don't think of what maybe that other person is going through.
That's probably gonna make me cry. My dad always used to say, his term or phrase, don't sweat the small things, used to drive me nuts, but I lost my dad a year ago, so as you know, my dad got sick in 2021, and going through that experience and ultimately losing him in 2022, it was very difficult, but it really did make me realize there are small things and there are important things. And we need to focus on those important things and let the small things fall by the wayside. We care about each other, we're compassionate, and we're empathetic and understanding, and are trying. I think that's the big thing, that we're all trying. And that's what I want to do. I want to try, and I want to get better, and I want to make a difference.
So in terms of mantras and kind of words that I live by, I'm a religious person. I really am a fan of Jesus Christ and Moses and some of these other figures in the Bible. And I think the big one for me is Jesus, basically. Like the last thing he said before he left was, love each other. Love each other like I loved you.
If you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. So I love passing along my smiles.
You can't do love and fear at the same time. So I always ask myself, am I going to make the fear choice or the growth choice?
Champions don't complain much, they're too busy getting better.
The key to lifelong learning is being just as eager to admit when you're right as when you're wrong.
Do I serve it or does it serve me?
Some words that I say definitely every day at work are, it's fine.
You can't win if you don't play.
Jackie Robinson said a life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives.
We are connected to our fellow men by 1,000 fibers. So really, all of our actions have great impact on the community here around us.
The more that we look to be able to do work for others, that society itself will no longer look at it itself from an individualistic standpoint, but from a communal standpoint that sees us all as interconnected.
There really is a true connection and desire to lift others up here. Your work isn't for nothing.